Enjoy a unique afternoon in downtown Los Angeles as the city closes off many of its streets to benefit pedestrians and cyclists. And find out some of the main objectives of the 99% movement when we occupy Los Angeles to better understand this vocal and determined group on this edition of Out and About.
Well, we're here with our third CicLAvia to enjoy LA, to open up our streets and our communities to the city of Los Angeles, to people who want to walk or bike or meander through the many communities. We've extended from 7.5 miles to 10 miles. We're going from the east side to East Hollywood, from South LA to downtown, through the central core of the city, and we're just going to enjoy LA.
I think you have a personal interest in bicycles, as I hear.
I used to cycle pretty regularly. I had a pretty serious cycling accident last year where I shattered my elbow. I have a plate in my elbow, and we've really made bicycle safety a priority, and have also agreed to a bicycle plan for 1,600 miles of bicycle lanes, paths, sharrows through the city of Los Angeles.
Well, in spite of the injury, you got back on the horse, so to speak.
Back on the horse.
I'm going to use it because we're going to be more like countries around the world who understand that you don't need a car. Use a bicycle. You can get around, do everything you need to do on a bicycle 90% of the time.
Pedal power is in full force on the busy streets of downtown Los Angeles as the annual CicLAvia opens city streets and neighborhoods to the joys of cycling. The popular event encourages Angelinos to get out of their cars and onto their bicycles for a day, with a focus on promoting responsible transportation while encouraging participants to embrace a healthy and fit lifestyle.
Well, what we've done is we've taken 10 miles of LA streets and we've opened them up to people. So we've repurposed the streets for 5 hours to say, instead of them being for cars, these streets actually belong to us as well, pedestrians and cyclists, and we can make them a place for us to enjoy. So we don't have to go to the park, we don't have to go to the mall. We can actually come out into our own streets and make them a public place for the people of Los Angeles.
So I guess that would explain why all those bicycles are running around here.
Well, and I hope some people on foot too, yes. The idea is that we'll probably see close to 100,000 people today over the 5 hours, and they're going to enjoy 14 different neighborhoods that are interconnected by these 10 miles of streets.
20 miles of sharrows, and we've got another 20 to
The
go.
morning festivities begin as the mayor offers details on new programs to open up miles of city streets to cyclists.
The reason I can put my bike on a clean fuel bus is because when he was in the state legislature...
And the morning's special guest is none other than Ed Begley Jr., a longtime advocate of cycling and a pioneer on clean transportation.
I've been riding a bike since I was a young boy with a paper route, but I ride it a lot for transportation as well. I've been riding my bike, taking public transportation to get out of my car since 1970. And that's how I got here today. I took the subway a part of the way, and I rode my bike the rest all the way from Studio City, which is about 15 miles. I got here in 39 minutes from my door to here.
Yeah, I do hear that you can take your bicycle on the subway. Is that is true then?
it is true. You can take it on the subway. There are many people with their bikes on the subway today, and there are buses throughout LA that have racks. There's very few buses now that do not have a rack on the front for at least 2 bikes. So we're doing very good getting people out of their cars and getting them onto public transportation and onto the most environmentally form of transportation we've ever invented, the bicycle.
Bicycles of all shapes and sizes enjoyed the open air and uncrowded stretches of Los Angeles' fabled streets. And cycling clubs took advantage of the empty roads, including this group, which caters to riders over 50 years of age.
Well, we're called Grandmaster Cycling, and we launched our community organization of cyclists last year in December of 2010, and in 100 days we accumulated 100 members. So we're very excited, and we're all about life on. We'll call it from the 50-yard line. We're all 50 years of age and beyond, where people could get on their bike and have fun and enjoy it, and in the same type of community that and lifestyle that everybody's in, the demographic, etc.
Illustrating that age is no problem when it comes to bicycling.
Oh, absolutely. We have members that are in their 70s. We also have a very small, we're connected with the Senior Cycling Center that does the state and state games and the National Olympics. And we see members out there that are up to 90 years old that are actually racing. So we have, wow. Life doesn't stop at 50, shall we say, but in cycling you can get on a bike at any age and enjoy it.
Scientific American did a study, a rather prestigious magazine, Scientific American, about forms of ground transportation. You could certainly say a sailboat is the most green form of transportation around the world. You can take wind and go around the world. But on ground, there's nothing more energy efficient than the bicycle. By that I mean you can go 30 miles on an ear of corn or a bowl of rice. So that's the fuel that you need to get a distance on a bicycle, and it works very well. It's good for your health, good to get people out of their cars and interacting, meeting people around LA, seeing and hearing and smelling all the wonderful aromas of the restaurants and what have you, and interacting with people. That's what we're trying to do, and we're going to do it twice a year now, get people out of their cars and biking and walking, interacting.
As the afternoon wears on, the cycling switches from a mere trickle to an out-and-out force of nature as riders both young and old clamor for space on the asphalt. All are well-behaved and respectful of their fellow cyclists, and as far as we know, no tickets were issued during the morning and afternoon event. It underlines the fact that most of the errands that Angelenos perform in a car can be done on a bike with the same ease, but with less waste and more efficiency.
I bike all over the place. I bike when I need to do something at the grocery. I get on the bike rather than in the car.
And you save gas, of course. You don't need gas for your bicycle, I guess.
Not only do you save gas, but you improve the environment, you reduce traffic congestion, and you feel better. You'll smile more often.
Does this happen every year, or what's the story on that?
Well, this is the third time we've done this in 12 months. And the idea, we hope, is to get this to be every quarter. So every 3 months this would happen. We're working up to that. Right now it's like the next one is going to be 6 months from now. So we're trying to raise as much money as we can and get as much support as we can to make this a regular part of the program of Los Angeles.
Now, would the route be generally the same each time?
You know, that's a big question. We're thinking about going to other parts of the city, and we're actually talking to 6 different cities from other parts of the county today to see if we might be able to expand to other areas.
How long have you been riding a bicycle?
Well, since I was a little kid.
Oh, you were a little kid, huh? And you sort of carried through, huh?
No, you know, I actually did not approach this as a bicycle event. I come to this because I'm interested in Los Angeles. I'm a native of Los Angeles, and I'm interested in making this a great city. And I think what makes a great city is a place for people to come together. And I see this as a public space event. And I see this as a place where we can make a real city, not that this isn't a real city, but a city where people can meet their neighbors, a city where people can walk from one neighborhood to another, and that's what CicLAvia can do.
It sounds to me as though this project increases the ability for people to relate to each other on two different levels.
I hope so. I really hope so. And we've seen that in the past two CicLAvias, that it really changes. It's a transformative event for Angelinos.
When we return, we'll pound the pavement with other 99%ers to get an idea of why America is losing stock in Wall Street. Find out what all the fuss is about as we discuss real issues with real Americans when Out and About continues.
We are